Hi everyone, I'm Nancy Pichet. I do regression hypnotherapy in Montreal, Quebec. I'm a certified level 2 QHHT practitioner facilitator. And what this means is that I'm trained to guide and help my clients navigate this trip into the many dimensions of their higher self, past lives, or whatever else may be waiting on the other side. But it's really a way for you to connect with your higher self. I'm here to help find the answers to unblocking and resolving things in your life so that you can make quantum leaps in evolving or getting past your blocks or pain to a higher, more fulfilling, authentic life, or just to meet your spirit guides and connect to your higher self. I'm making this video today to talk about important messages that came out of a session, just to give you an idea why this type of hypnotherapy can be so helpful in putting life's issues, challenges in a new perspective. Today's video is going to be a little bit different and longer because I'm going to talk to you about my session that was given to me. The reason why I decided to pick mine is so that I can really give you every aspect of how it went down, why I felt I needed a session in the first place, how I came to realize that I needed a session, and how it unrolled, and then what I got out of it. So why I felt I needed a session, which actually led me into being a practitioner, by the way. I think this was probably one of the hardest times of my life. In that year alone, I had just lost one of my best friends in the whole world pretty suddenly. I had a huge falling out with a very close family member. I really felt betrayed by this person. I felt like what happened was done maliciously at the time, and because of this falling out, I lost a big part of my extended family. I ended a 4-year relationship with my boyfriend. COVID completely destroyed my career, and I didn't really know what I was going to do with the rest of my life. I was on the verge of bankruptcy and losing my house. And to top it all off, I had to put my sweet dog Molly to sleep. So all of that to say that it was a really tough year and I was in a bad place. I was afraid of making another misstep, just making things worse for myself. I was also afraid of letting anyone in and having that feeling of betrayal again. I'd already had what you can say is a pretty traumatic life. My father was hit by a drunk driver and died when I was 2. My mother committed suicide when I was 4. Then I went to my grandfather, who sexually abused me until he also committed suicide. And from then on, I just chose really bad relationships. When I was 18, I found out that my real father was actually alive and that my entire family knew, but they had all agreed to keep it from me. Long story. I had my son when I was 19. His father was extremely abusive. And then in the spirit of just being completely honest, I dealt with suicidal thoughts and attempts many times in my lifetime. I just really wanted to escape. As you can imagine, I was a pretty broken adult most of the time. I'm just telling you all of this to show you that even though things can get really bad, hypnosis is a great way to help you through it. So at this point last year, I really didn't know what to do or where to go or where to start. But what I did know is that I was the common denominator in all of these things, and I wasn't handling it well. So I realized that I needed to get me out of my own way, that I was the only one really in my way at that time. I needed to find a way to reconnect to myself and figure out what I really wanted. I also wanted to quit smoking. I had tried so many times before with no success. So really that's how and why I realized that I needed a hypnosis session. So when my amazing practitioner Sharon put me under hypnosis, it kind of felt like I was just floating in outer space or the universe. Then I was going through these tubes of color, kind of like what I imagine a wormhole would be like. Sharon tried moving me around, but it was just more of this floating around. Then I started feeling this gentle, cool breeze on the left side of my face. It was weird, like someone was gently blowing on my face. I didn't know what to make of it. Sharon assured me it wasn't her. And I was seeing a light that was very bright like the sun, but cool like the moon. I got a feeling that I needed to reconnect to the moon, and it was helping me do that. It was like, even though nothing was really happening, my guides were letting me know they were there and helping me connect. It was cool and frustrating at the same time. I was getting a little irritated just because I really wanted to see some past lives and all kinds of interesting stuff, but that just wasn't in the cards for me. What was in the cards for me was just being in that present moment, and that's the only place that I needed to be at the time. Something that's important to know is that when you get a QHHT session, you go into your session with a list of questions that you would like to ask your higher self, and your team of guides and your practitioner asks them for you. So after about 45 minutes of this floating around, Sharon called on my subconscious and she asked why I was shown these colors, wormholes, and floating around. My subconscious said that it was to get me to just relax and stop trying to go somewhere else than where I am. That I'm always trying to control everything and making things go too fast. It told me to stop trying to force things and just go with the flow. Just be happy and appreciate where you are, not I'll be happy when. It also said I'm always concentrating on the past, where I come from, or trying to connect to my departed loved ones. It said she needs to be more present in this moment. Everything is already right here. If we give her what she wants, meaning past lives or connecting to my ancestors, she won't want to leave. She needs to connect to this human life right now. Then Sharon asked about my life's purpose. My subconscious said that it was to help people for the shift. Just by getting herself better, people will see it's possible for them as well, and they will follow her. She needs to do more things that bring her joy. There needs to be more fun in her life. And by doing so, she will be able to bring more people up with her. She'll want to stay here on earth more when she's helping people. She needs to leave her house more often. She's a bit of a hermit. Go out and meet people and connect to them. And as for the toxic people she's so scared of letting in, she just has to believe people when they show her who they really are. Listen to her instincts. She can feel it in her body. She knows as soon as she meets them. What was good about hearing this is that many times we get a gut feeling that something or someone isn't right, and we dismiss it. Like, oh, I'm just being nasty. You can't judge a book by its cover. But I think if we listen to our instincts more, it would save us a lot of time, pain, and anger. So the next question was, how can I stop being so reactive when people are telling me things about their own lives that I feel isn't very nice, or when they're doing something that just doesn't make sense to me? So let me just say that I really didn't believe that I was that judgmental as a person, but my subconscious really thinks differently and said, she's judgmental. Still let people know what you think, but less from a place of judgment and more from a place of love. Remember where people are coming from. Protect your energy and heart, but love fully. It will help with the judgment as well. Do less of putting people in their place, and not by criticizing, but by showing them how lovely they can be. Don't put yourself in their shoes as yourself, but instead as them. You're still trying to see it from your perspective. I had never even considered it in that way. It was like a light bulb turned on in my head at that point. Another thing I do is that when I'm talking to people about their experiences or what's happening, something that's happening that's very intense for them, is I start shaking, kind of like tremors. My whole body is almost convulsing. I was really wondering where that's coming from. So my subconscious said her shaking is other people's trapped energy. She feels people's anxiety or stress when they're talking. She needs to ground herself, take deep breaths, and just disconnect herself a little. She loves being an empath, a little too much. She doesn't always have to feel every emotion that everyone else is feeling if she doesn't want to. So that was very eye-opening as well. The next question was, what's my life lessons? And my subconscious said she needed to experience a lot of pain so she can understand all aspects of where people are and how they got there. She can be a safe place for them, but she needs to let go of the judgments. It's all about love. There was that judgmental stuff again. Apparently I'm very judgmental. Who knew? So when asked what's the most important thing for me to know right now, my subconscious said she needs to have more fun. She needs the energy from fun. It will put her in a better vibration. She's starting to understand it now. It took her long enough. I thought that was funny. I wanted to know how to be a better parent to my adult son. And it said by taking better care of herself, he'll be able to see how to take care of himself. She always made it about other people, so she never really took good care of herself, and he saw that. But she knows this now, and he will soon. Another question was, what's the best place for me to live? And it said, she's the best place to live. Stop trying to run away. It's all about the journey, not the destination. Once she feels better about herself, it won't matter where she lives. But near nature would be best for her. So then Sharon asked my subconscious to do a body scan. This is something that we do during QHHT and while talking to the subconscious, to see where our illnesses and body pains are coming from, the root of it. So my subconscious said the hip pain was because I needed to stop running from my life. It's harder to run when you have trouble walking. I also have COPD, so it said the lungs have to do with my sadness and family tree. She's not responsible for anyone but herself. She can't save anyone. She must let go of saving others or she will suffocate herself. So then Sharon asked if my subconscious could heal me. And it said, I will not be offering any healing today. She's responsible for her own action, needs, and healing. Or I would be doing the exact same thing that she's been doing by trying to save people. She must save herself. Everything will feel better when she takes better care of herself and has more fun. Everything will align when she does this. She'll stop aging so rapidly as well. I had mentioned some wrinkles and stuff during the interview, but we won't get into that right now. I wanted to know what's the best diet for me, and it said that she needs to eat more raw food. Stop seeing food as an event. It doesn't need to be fun and interesting. It's fuel. That's it. Just eat the carrots. I was wondering why I was having so much trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. She has trouble sleeping because she's not doing enough to spend energy. Do more, sleep better, stop being lazy. Yoga or anything else that makes you spend energy will help you sleep. Now, I'm a very woo-woo person, and what I mean by that is that I've always believed in angels and ghosts and all of that other crazy stuff. When I was much younger, I used to see all kinds of weirdness happening. It stopped in my early 20s. Well, actually, I asked it to stop because I used to get really scared, and it did stop. So a few years back, my whole belief system on the other side of death completely changed, and I really wasn't scared anymore. So I tried reconnecting to that part of me, but with absolutely no success. I've lost so many people in my life, people that I really wanted to connect with, and I wanted to know why I couldn't do that anymore. So my subconscious said, the more she trusts, the more it will happen. Feel and trust, stop trying to see and hear them. But with that being said, people who have passed have all let go. She doesn't need to connect to them. She needs to connect to humans. She will see them again, but needs to be part of the living. The ones who have passed have healed. Humans need healing. Connecting to the living is your purpose. Stop trying to escape. So yeah, escaping again. It's kind of clear, but I also wanted to know why I experienced such depression and anxiety. And my subconscious said that it's because she puts other people ahead of her own needs. Then it hurts when they don't do the same for her, discard her, or do things that she wouldn't even imagine doing to another person. People will not be there for you in the same way as you would for them. They can't. They're not you. Another question was, how do I overcome the blocks in my life? So it said, by having fun, connecting with like-minded people, let go of what's not serving you anymore. These are all the same questions, it said. Like, my subconscious is really sarcastic, right? Another question was how to have an easier life and be done with the life lessons and betrayals. It said, you don't want it to be done. You don't want to be done learning because then it's over. You came to experience duality. It was all necessary so that you would start listening to your own intuition and do what's right for you. By putting what other people want instead of your own needs and wants. You're showing the universe what you deserve and what's acceptable for you. You're the only one betraying yourself. Respect what the self wants and needs. Everything else will follow. And then it said, you will both have an easier time with this now. My subconscious was talking to me and Sharon. It was pretty awesome. Sharon had a pretty good laugh at that one too. The whole thing was pretty funny. As for how to get over the addictions, my subconscious said, you make the choice and then you do it. Stop making excuses. It's a choice. By making excuses, you take away your own power. love yourself, and take your power back. It's another way for her to escape. Disrespect to self is a slow death. So yeah, it makes sense. So then Sharon asked if my subconscious had a last message for me. And it said, what you've done is remarkable. Everyone else can see it. We need you to believe before we can really show you. This is why we haven't healed you. You know it. You have to trust it. Dive in the deep end. You know how to swim. This is who you are. You know it well. You're almost there. We will not do it for you. You need to do it for yourself. This is why you're still here. I love you and I will always be here with you. It was so amazing. It was just crazy. Anyway, so even though I was disappointed in the beginning that I didn't get to see any past lives, unicorns, or fairies, the whole subconscious part was very magical and inspiring. It was the funny, gentle, caring energy I'm working on being. I've been saying for a long time, I still want to be there for people to call or get advice, but I know I need to do it in a more gentle, loving way. And that's exactly what I felt from my subconscious. So very inspiring. I think the most important message that I got out of my session was that I need to do things that I enjoy more and to just plain have more fun. I definitely don't do that enough. I came here to experience life, right? So another message was, for me, that was very clear, is that I need to be less judgmental about how people choose to live their own lives. Just live and let live. And then there was, stop doing things that you don't want to do to be accommodating to other people. To be honest, I used to think that I really got a crappy deck of cards as a life, but now I see it like I can handle whatever comes my way. And life and what people do, even if it does affect you, is really not personal. I think people are just trying to do what's best for them. Generally, they're not trying to hurt anyone. They're just trying to get what they want. So I've actually forgiven everyone. I know it's really not personal. I use it as fuel now and as a reminder that it's all going to be okay. And that it's okay for me to do what feels right for me as well. Even if other people don't agree, I need to follow my own intuition. So hypnosis really changed my life. It just made things seem a lot simpler. So I hope this gave you a glimpse into how hypnosis can perhaps be helpful to you. Not in changing the world, just on how you see it and how it affects you. So if you would like a hypnosis session with me, my website is amends.ca, and all of my information is in the description box below. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.